Hi, I'm Aimee K. Bryant. Thanks for joining us tonight for Creative Chops, a virtual fundraiser for COMPAS. Starting at 7, this will be a live event so we can talk to each other in real time through technology. If you log into YouTube Live, you can type into the chat box on the side of the screen. Well, why don't you do that right now so you're ready? If you don't have a YouTube account, you can log into YouTube with a Gmail or Google account. We're also monitoring the email account info@compass.org and the hashtag Creative Chops, so feel free to reach out to us that way too. Hi, I'm Aimee K. Bryant, and I am a proud COMPAS teaching artist. Theater is my area of expertise, if I were to call myself an expert. And when I go into classrooms around the state of Minnesota, thanks to COMPAS, I get to witness the brilliance of young creativity at work. I tend to build my residencies on a foundation of improvisation, so the students are making up everything that we do, and you would be amazed at the stories and the characters and the plays that they come up with on the spot. One of my favorite things about teaching in classrooms is, especially about teaching art in classrooms, is that there are always one or two students who are considered to be the underachievers academically or the problem students behaviorally. But when you bring art into the classroom and give them another avenue to express their brilliance, they shine. And suddenly the kid who was relegated to being the problem student is the star. And everybody in the classroom has a new understanding of the value of this kid. I love how art does that in the classroom, and it wouldn't happen in my experience without COMPAS. Hi, I'm Aimee K. Bryant. Thanks for joining us tonight for Creative Chops, a virtual fundraiser for COMPAS. Starting at 7, this will be a live event so we can talk to each other in real time through technology. If you log into YouTube Live, you can type into the chat box on the side of the screen. Well, why don't you do that right now so you're ready? If you don't have a YouTube account, you can log into YouTube with a Gmail or Google account. We're also monitoring the email account info@compass.org and the hashtag Creative Chops, so feel free to reach out to us that way too. Hi, I'm Aimee K. Bryant, and I am a proud COMPAS Teaching Artist. Theater is my area of expertise, if I were to call myself an expert. And when I go into classrooms around the state of Minnesota, thanks to COMPAS, I get to witness the brilliance of young creativity at work. I tend to build my residencies on a foundation of improvisation, so the students are making up everything that we do, and you would be amazed at the stories and the characters and the plays that they come up with on the spot. One of my favorite things about teaching in classrooms is, especially about teaching art in classrooms, is that there are always one or two students who are considered to be the underachievers academically or the problem students behaviorally. But when you bring art into the classroom and give them another avenue to express their brilliance, they shine. And suddenly the kid who was relegated to being the problem student is the star. And everybody in the classroom has a new understanding of the value of this kid. I love how art does that in the classroom, and it wouldn't happen in my experience without COMPAS.
I was born creative, but I must work to stay that way.
Because my creativity is precious.
When I invest in my creativity,
I invest in a part of myself
that makes me not only better able to survive in this world, but to thrive. Because I am an artist.
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 Because I'm an artist.
A creative.
A visionary.
My voice matters, and I have something important to say.
I will develop creative new solutions to old problems.
Because creativity isn't a matter of the haves and have-nots.
It isn't a privilege of the young or a luxury of the old.
Creativity is for everyone.
I am a writer.
A dancer.
A sculptor.
A poet.
A puppeteer.
I am the future.
And I will change the world.
Hello, and welcome to Creative Chops, a virtual fundraiser for COMPAS. I'm your host, Aimee K. Bryant. We've got a big show planned for you tonight, so we're going to jump right in and get this competition started. Once we get our challengers going, I'll explain who they are, what they're doing, and the big role you play tonight. So, my fellow teaching artists, get ready to see what surprises you have inside your baskets. Kashiman, Christopher, Kelley, open your baskets. Each of our 5 artists have the same 5 items in their baskets. A box of elbow macaroni, a must-have for any kid-friendly creative project. Pipe cleaners, Must be some very small pipes. A plastic water bottle, the most ubiquitous object in the world. A costume cape, dun, da, 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 worn by superheroes and evil villains. Noisemakers, the world's easiest musical instruments. They've got about 23 minutes to create a work of art, and then you get to vote on who had the chops to create art on the spot. Even though our 3 challengers are each creating in a different art form, everyone must incorporate all 5 items in their final product in one way or another. They can also use any of the items in our craft pantry, like this little boat hat thing. It's a hat for my pre-COVID weight. Popsicle sticks, wine corks, bottle openers, clothespin earrings. Oh, okay, that hurts. And of course, they'll use the artist's most valuable tool, their imaginations. Because that's what we do here at COMPAS, deliver creative experiences that light up people's imaginations. Why do we do this? Because an ignited imagination is a powerful tool that builds confidence, helps us make connections, and opens possibilities. Through creativity, we can imagine a better future and find solutions. That's why it's important for us to get creative learning out to as many people as possible. Building our creative powers, using our imaginations, is not an issue of the haves and have-nots. It isn't an entitlement of the young or a luxury of the old. Creativity is essential for everyone. We need everyone's brain to be creating solutions to issues big and small. So, tonight, we are asking you to support equitable creative learning with a gift to COMPAS. Just follow directions on the bottom of the screen. Did you know that last year support from donors made it possible for over 60,000 people to ignite their imaginations? This includes students in all grades, from our inner cities to our rural schools near the Canadian border, teens facing homelessness, kids and adults who live with disability, older adults who have been extra isolated this year, and so many others. Let's be clear, when we say Creative Chops is a virtual fundraiser, we mean we are gathering as a virtual community, not that we are raising virtual money. We need you to donate actual money so people from all walks of life can have access to creative experiences that enrich our lives and communities. You can pop over to the donation site anytime tonight. Now, let's get back to our competition. As I mentioned, you, our community of viewers, get to vote on who you think had the most chops as they created art on the spot. At approximately 7:25, our Creative Chops competitors will show us their brand new creations. You'll then have a minute or 2 to type your vote into the chat box. To do that, you need to be logged on to YouTube. Just use your Google or Gmail account. We also encourage you to use the chat box to talk to each other, comment, or ask a question. The chat is right there on the side of the screen. Or if you're watching us in full screen, use your mouse to scroll down and you'll see the chat area. Just please, keep your comments nice. You can see that our competitors are hard at work. Kashiman is clearly creating some music right now. I wonder how she's gonna work those pipe cleaners in. And I see Christopher, I think he's working the pipe cleaners in. Look at that, already off to a great start. And all the way over there, very far from me, you can see he's right close to you, I'm sure, Kelley is creating video animation. Z's got a camera mounted that takes pictures, and then they go into the computer. And so we're gonna see what her works looks like when it's all complete. So exciting. So we're gonna let them keep creating as we take a closer look at who they are.
Hi, my name is Kashiman Ahua, and I am a COMPAS Teaching Artist. I'm a singer, I songwrite, I compose, I perform, and I encourage other people to learn about songwriting and create together. One of the aha moments as a teacher, there was a student in the class that was just really like a lot of energy, high energy, talking a lot. And we were brainstorming and putting up ideas for lyrics, and he just blurted out, "Yeah, it's like a roller coaster." And we put that up into the song on the board, and he was like, "You're really gonna use that?" And I'm like, "Yes, we are." And seeing his lyric, you could see that it clicked for him. It led to a proud moment for him in the song that now all his classmates sing those lyrics. I challenge 2 other artists to a battle in 30 minutes to create some art that will move you.
My name is Kelley Meister, and I'm a COMPAS Teaching Artist and a visual artist here in Twin Cities. This is my studio. This is where I do a lot of my work. I'm a multimedia interdisciplinary artist. I make drawings and sculptures and performances, video and animation. I love being a COMPAS Teaching Artist. I especially love getting to go out to schools all over Minnesota and meeting people, sharing my art form with them, creating things together and seeing what people make and how people are creative. It's really inspiring and a lot of fun. So I will be making a stop motion animation in real time, in competition, and hopefully I have the chops to make it. We'll see what happens.
Hello, my name is Christopher Lutter, Big Animal Productions LLC. I'm a public artist, a community artist, puppet designer, theater artist, kind of multidisciplinary, multiple materials artist, interdisciplinary, and I'm interested in creative artwork that is produced from upcycled materials and repurposed materials, and discovering the artistic potential inherent in that material. You can see I work with all different types of materials. Why? Because they're fascinating, and I can't stand to see stuff like this go in the garbage, because I really believe in the sanctity of materials and the dilemma of so much material going into the garbage, into the waste stream. So that's a quick whirlwind tour of my studio, and looking forward to more adventures with COMPAS Arts.
Hello, I'm Yvette Trotman, President of the COMPAS Board. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'd like to introduce you to one of the students who has benefited from the kind of equitable, creative learning you are supporting tonight. We first met Kennedy when she attended Northeast Middle School in Minneapolis. She was taking part in a spoken word residency led by COMPAS Teaching Artist Frank Santoli. Kennedy's the kind of kid who's interested in travel and thriller novels. We also learned that she wants to share, as she says, the many underrepresented, inaudible, and silenced narratives that deserve awareness and respect. Before working with Frank, Kennedy really wasn't sure how to do that. Now, as many of us witnessed during last week's inauguration, those stories can often be best told through poetry. Working with Frank, she learned how to use her tone and body language to get the attention of her audience. She learned to create the artistry behind spoken word. And she learned to be confident in her own abilities. In fact, learning through the arts so inspired Kennedy that her plan now includes going to Howard University to study journalism. And between us, Howard University is my alma mater, and that's also where I met my husband. The program Kennedy participated in was made possible through the generosity of donors. Tonight, your donation will go directly to inspiring more students like Kennedy. Thank you for joining me in giving generously to Creative Chops.
And just between you and me, I'm also a Howard alum, you know. Thank you, Yvette. And thank you to all of you who are donating, and to our sponsors, RBC and 3M. You are creating more and more opportunities for students like Kennedy to be inspired and fire up their imaginations. I'm getting a signal that we have a question from the audience. Oh, it's for me. How many art forms do COMPAS Teaching Artists teach? I'm an actor, and I feel like I got a math question. Let's see. I can calculate. I went to Howard. Okay, if I carry the 2 and I divide by I'm 11 billion. That is the official answer. Actually, I don't know the official answer. There are so many COMPAS Teaching Artists. COMPAS offers programs in 4 general categories: literary, visual, musical, and performing arts. There are over 100 artists and ensembles on the COMPAS roster, and many of them teach more than one art form. For example, I'm a performing artist, and I teach improv, storytelling, playwright, and a few other things. I'm also a member of the Give Get Sestet, an a cappella jazz improvisation group. So, 100 artists from all over the world who have brought their art forms with them, many multidisciplinary artists. Let's see, officially that comes out to be a lot. Okay, I think it's time to check in with our Creative Chops challengers. Oh, here we have a question for Kashimana. Kashimana, someone would like to know, how do your global experiences influence your music?
So I'm originally from Nigeria, and I've traveled all over the world. I've been to Ethiopia, I've lived in Kenya, and of course the United States. I got to visit Europe, and wherever I travel, I always try to learn about the music, and I always try to learn about the food, the culture, the rhythms, the things that make life vibrant wherever I go to visit, and just soak it all in and let that get into my brain, into my mind, into my soul. I usually like to dance, and then that comes out in all of my music. I don't know how specifically it'll show up, but it always surprises me when I'm like, okay, I can trace that back to when I was in Senegal and heard that drum beat. So I take inspiration from everywhere I go.
Thank you, Kashimana. I'm waiting to see how she's gonna work that water bottle into her music tonight. And when you hear it on a recording in the future, you'll know that it came from our Creative Chops event right here, celebrating COMPAS. Kashimana is actually one of the most recent artists to join the COMPAS roster. She joined last summer, right in the middle of the pandemic. We love that she was all in when we asked her to take part in one of our online programs. Like many other organizations, COMPAS quickly pivoted to change its programs so people could still take part in artist-led creative experiences. Because let's face it, last year has been tough, and being creative has been essential for getting through. Even with the shutdown, all of the challenges faced, this past year has been busy at COMPAS. Support from donors meant over 400 art kits were delivered to people staying in shelters during the initial quarantine. It meant in-person arts residencies were reimagined, and it meant new programs were created to reach isolated seniors. To see all the programs that COMPAS does, check out compass.org. If you hang around after the show, we'll roll a quick video that highlights workshops you can do right from the COMPAS website. It also gives you a flavor for the programs you make happen with your donations. A highlight of any COMPAS event is to have a student share artwork they created during a COMPAS residency. As a teaching artist, I get to see the fruits of people's creative energy firsthand throughout the year. So I'm happy to share with you tonight the work of a fabulous young poet who was featured in our most recent anthology of student writing. This is Ruby Matheson reading her poem, The Women Who Wear Too Much.
Hi, my name is Ruby Matheson. I'm an 8th grader at Richfield Middle School. I wrote this poem when I was in 7th grade, assisted by Mr. Frank Santwali, who was a pleasure to work with. The name of this piece is The Women Who Wear Too Much, inspired by a lot of powerful women in my life who have taught me a lot about growing up and responsibility and what it means to be a woman. This is sort of a tribute to them because I really appreciate them. So if any of my great aunts are watching, hi, I love you. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity to share my work because poetry is something I'm really passionate about, and I am just really grateful for the opportunity to share it, and I'm honored to have been chosen. So yeah, without further ado, here's my poem, The Women Who Wear Too Much. Thank you to all the women who wear too much. To the women who wear a full face of makeup into a Target at 2 p.m. on a Thursday because God knows their patience is as thin as their waist used to be. To the women who dig around in their little clutch to find their lipstick so they can reapply with a pocket mirror because their 60s are getting nearer and nearer, and if you think she's giving up, you're dead wrong. To the women who wear big hoops, except not this Thursday because Tammy's kid is just that age now to rip those suckers right off. To the woman who teals clack on the linoleum, alerting everyone that they are here and they would like a macchiato, please. That's D-E-B-R-A. And can I say, you look gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous in that shade. I could never pull that off. Thank you to the women who wear too much because that lipstick is a taser, those nails are claws, and there's a knife in that little purple clutch because everyone knows she's asking for it. And can I say, as a young woman, that you inspire me because you know that society conforms to you, not the other way around. Because when everyone tells you you're asking for it, you spray on your L'Oreal Magic Root cover-up and slip on your heels because never in your life have you cared what other people think. So God bless the women who wear too much, who taught me that life is tough, but Sally Hansen extreme wear nail polish is 1,000 times tougher.
Thank you, Ruby. So much talent. Okay, let's see if there are other questions out there. It looks like there's, one for Christopher.
Yes.
Christopher, where does all that stuff come from? That's what I was wondering.
Well, this stuff here?
Yeah.
Well, this comes from the stars. Did you know that hydrocarbons come from the stars? Well, actually, the carbon comes from red giant stars that have run out of hydrogen fuel, and it's all helium, so they get really big. And they create carbons. Hydrogen came from the Big Bang. But humans figured out how to put all that stuff together and create all this incredible stuff. From the stuff that, from pipe cleaners to the plastic tablecloth that I'm using here, these wire hangers that come from the dry cleaners, even the macaroni, carbons, yes. And we're made of carbons too. We're all made of star stuff. So we are working with some serious material here, everybody. So I got to get back, all right?
Thank you. Thank you, Christopher. Putting the teaching in teaching artists. And if we're all made out of carbon and all of our creative material is made out of carbon, then everything is art. Thank you, Christopher. And I see we have a question for Kelley. Kelley, please tell us about your process.
Hello. So I am taking lots of photographs, and they're going to be put together into a longer animation. So it's a very time-consuming process, And I have to just move a little bit between each photo that I take. So it requires concentration and patience. Wow. So it's tricky to do under a clock like we are today.
Thank you, Kelley, but Kelley can make it work. All right, let's see. It says we have another question for me. What do you like most about being a COMPAS teaching artist? Well, I mean, first of all, when you are teaching art to whomever you're teaching it, anything can happen. One of my favorite memories of being a teaching artist happened at a local museum where I was a part of an exhibit. And the exhibit had like a hanging forest of pool noodles, and it had gigantic foam blocks that you could use to build structures. And it had, I mean, all kinds of things, camping equipment. And I was set up in there, and my job was to engage whichever people in the museum came into my exhibit. We would sit together and make up a story, and then we would act it out using the exhibit as our set. So one day, we're sitting in our circle, making up our story, and a kid in the circle reaches in his back pocket and pulls out a piece of pizza. He proceeds to eat the piece of pizza from his back pocket right there in the middle of our story, and that pizza wound up in our story, it wound up in our play, and it delighted not only the creators of the play, it also delighted all of the audience members who were in that exhibit that day. I love how anything can happen when you begin to create, and I love how if you give young artists or artists of any age the freedom and the permission to follow their inspiration, anything can happen. I love to tell my artists, you cannot do it wrong. And then magic ensues. Okay, challengers, you have 60 seconds to wrap up your art and present your creations. While the challengers are finishing up, just a quick reminder that this is a fundraiser for COMPAS. We've already raised, I have my handy assistant here, with the figure, it says $13,728, which is so close to our goal. Thank you to all of you who have already donated, and thank you to our sponsors, RBC and 3M, two organizations that understand the power of creativity. If you haven't had a chance to donate yet, there's still time. And because of RBC and 3M support, every dollar you donate tonight will go right back out into the community in the form of equitable creative learning. We so appreciate your support. Well, it looks like Kashiman is singing. I'm just talking about what you're doing, Kashiman, and it looks like, I can't see very clearly, but it almost looks like Christopher is sewing. Everyone's putting the final touches on their artwork, and I can see Kelley is still working away, taking each individual shot for sheer animation. Okay, so, and scissors have come into play. It's amazing. Now, I have the privilege of being able to hear what's going on in the studio, and I can say that Kashiman has found very creative ways to use all 5 of her basket props as musical instruments, I think. Okay, it's almost time for you to vote on who is the winner in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the Creative Chops Challenge is now complete. Challengers, let's see what you created. Christopher, let's start with you.
Yes, it's a star dragon made out of star stuff. And it's come to Earth to give us a little of the precious stuff of life. I'm using the water that was part of this. Yes. He's bringing water from his heart. Yes, perfect. Beautiful. So now life can begin here, and he's going to fly off to the stars and remerge with the red giants.
That is incredible. That is incredible. Watching that come together, I never imagined that it would turn out to be a star dragon. Awesome. All right, Kashimana, would you please share your music with us now?
All right. Well, this is untitled, but I'll walk you through how I put it together. Can the looper be on? Is it on? Okay, so this is just me humming. So right now, it's just voice, but I'll tell you the different parts that I've added. So that's the noisemaker in there, a whistle, there's a water bottle in there shaking fiercely as well. And this was created using this, just across the mic. Let's see, what else I got? Oh, the pipe cleaners were used to do a snare. And one last thing, I think the whistle, yeah, that was it. And you also provided a little bit of vocal in there. I don't know if you can hear it. The whistle, yeah, that was it. Oh.
Thank you, Kashimana.
The whistle, yeah, that was it. Oh. All right, that wasn't supposed to happen. But there is a song, if I have time to share that.
Yeah.
It's a quick one. Okay, so it goes like this. Come sit down at my table. Come share the food that I've made. Tell me all of your fable. They'll quench all of your thirst, and I'll paint you a story, and I'll sing you a song of the love that connects us, and a smile we belong. There you go.
Thank you, Kashimana. All right, Kelley, it's your turn. Please show us what you got.
Okay, so I've got an animation to show. I'm going to press play on it. And, oh, there it is. So there's the macaroni and one of the little noise makers. There they are, whistling at each other. I brought with me all these little cutouts and things. There's my pipe cleaners and lots of different paintings to use as backgrounds for the work. And so I used the water to erase as well as roll across. There's the cape swirling around. And a couple more noisemakers and 6 very important letters that I cut out, COMPAS for compass.
All right. Wow.
Whew. And
that is incredible. That is really amazing. Like, kudos to all of you. How awesome to see art created instantly. Okay, audience, this is going to be tough. The decision about who was the most creative is now in your hands. Vote for Christopher with the magnificent alien dragon, or you can vote for Kashimana with her beautiful song, or you can vote for Kelley with that awesome animation. All you need to do is type their name in your YouTube chat box and let us know who you think has the chops to make art on the spot. I don't know how you're going to decide. While you vote and we count them up, let's check in on our competitors one last time. So, all of you are really established artists in the community. What's it like to step outside of the way that you usually do things and then have macaroni as the source of your inspiration and pipe cleaners and a water bottle? Christopher, what was the process like for you? You're used to working with these kinds of materials.
This is what I usually do.
Yeah.
So I forgot to use the macaroni.
Oh! no!
This was going to be his treasure. And I was going to put the macaroni right here. Dramatically put it right here so that he can guard this treasure, see?
Ah,
and it was related to the water and the carbons and all that stuff, the soup of life.
Yes, thank you. Kashiman, are you used to working with found objects as musical instruments?
No. Short answer, no. I'm not used to working with found objects as musical instruments, but I'm used to using, getting other art to inspire me to write stuff or to inspire the topics of the songs. So I look at other artists for inspiration, and that's how I get my found objects.
Thank you. Kelley, can you tell us a little bit about what it was like to work with these materials?
Yeah, it was exciting to try to remember in this mess of things I have here, which ones were from the basket, because I brought so many ideas with me that I wanted to incorporate. But I enjoyed adding little sprinkles of objects in, because mostly what I brought was very flat things, so that was really fun. And stop motion animation is one of the things I do a lot with kids as a teaching artist, and it's always really fun to make inanimate objects sort of come to life and start moving around. And so that was a really exciting thing to do with all the things in the basket today.
Thank you so much, Kelley. Well, looks like the votes are in, and it turns out that a lot of people said a three-way tie, which is, that's the way to do it in kindergarten, maybe. But actually, Kashiman edged out the competition. I know. I wanted this, but it's yours.
It's mine forever and ever. Thank you so much. I accept this award with all the humbleness of my heart. And I choose to share it with my fellow artists. You can have this one, and you can have this one. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, that is our program tonight. We were thrilled that you are here with us for Creative Chops, a virtual fundraiser for COMPAS. We hope you enjoyed it and are inspired to make some art yourself. Remember to stick around if you want to see a preview of free art-making programs you can access on the COMPAS website. Again, I'm Aimee K. Bryant. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I was born creative, but I must work to stay that way.
Because my creativity is precious.
When I invest in my creativity,
I invest in a part of myself
that makes me not only better able to survive in this world, but to thrive. Because I am an artist.
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 Because I'm an artist.
A creative.
A visionary.
My voice matters, and I have something important to say.
I will develop creative new solutions to old problems.
Because creativity isn't a matter of the haves and have-nots.
It isn't a privilege of the young or a luxury of the old.
Creativity is for everyone.
I am a writer.
A dancer.
A sculptor.
A poet.
A puppeteer.
I am the future.
And I will change the world.
Hi, my name is Desdemona.
My name is Aimee K. Bryant.
Susan Armington.
Mike Arturi.
Saimukta Vongsai.
Joko Sutrishna.
My name is Kelley Meister, and I'm a COMPAS Teaching Artist.
I am a teaching artist with COMPAS.
COMPAS Teaching Artists.
COMPAS Teaching Artists.
I'm an artist for COMPAS.
COMPAS Teaching Artist.
COMPAS Teaching Artist.
We are going to do some writing in a lesson called That Was Then, This Is Now.
We're going to talk about drums and some ideas of what you could do with drums, and I'll show you some of my different instruments and show you some instruments that you could find at your house right now.
I prepared for you a slideshow that contains writing prompts.
Kecak is traditional Balinese art form that translate to monkey chanting.
An animated movie with a cardboard box, a smartphone, and some old magazines.
The actor's tools are your voice, your body, and your imagination.
So what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and you go all the way into that corner. And when you go all the way in the corner, it'll easily open like this.
So what onion skinning does is after you take one picture, the camera's going to line up for your next picture, but it's going to show you faintly the picture you just took.
Poke a hole in the center of the black paper, and then I can hold it to the light, and through that tiny hole, the light will come in, and I will see the image. And when you open the door, it's going to reveal a hidden world.
I use my voice, I use my body, I use my imagination.
You can be as creative as you want. It can be as simple as you want. There are so many different things you can do with it. It's just one more tool in your toolbox as far as being creative every single day.